The Invasion of Crooked Oak by Dan Smith. Read by Pearson. Published by Barrington Stoke.
The Invasion of Crooked Oak by Dan Smith. Narrated by Pearson. Chapter 1. Something Strange. Pete Brundle and his best friend Krish were looking at their phones in the dinner hall, ignoring the commotion around them. They weren't supposed to use phones at school, but there was another weird story on their favourite website, The Mystery Shed. The story was about a town in Australia that had been overrun by spiders. There was even a video, so it was too good to miss. "That's awesome," Pete said. "I wish something like that would happen in Crooked Oak. This village is so boring. Nothing ever—" Bam! Someone slammed into them, and Krish's new phone went flying. It hit the floor with a crack and spun under the nearest table. Krish dropped down and scooted after it. Pete turned to see their friend Nancy Finney standing behind him. She was the smartest kid in Year 8. Short and skinny, with hair the colour of autumn leaves. Nancy had pale blue eyes and a spattering of freckles on her cheeks. "What did you do that for?" Pete said, frowning. "Sorry," Nancy said. "That big idiot pushed me." "Who were you calling an idiot?" Tyson Bridges said. He was in the air above them and twice as big as everyone else in school. "I'm calling you an idiot," Nancy said, looking up at him. "Why don't you watch where you're going?" Tyson balled his meaty hands into fists. "You're that kid whose mum works at the fracking site, aren't you?" he said. "On Carpenter's Field. It's out of bounds now, and we can't play there anymore. My dad says your mum's a traitor for working there and that everyone in the village hates her." "Leave Nancy alone," Pete told Tyson, and stood up. "The fracking site's being closed down now. Haven't you heard? And you do know her dad's the head teacher." "So?" Tyson glared at Pete. "One more reason to hate her?" "Well," Pete tilted his head, "he's right over there." Tyson narrowed his eyes at Mr. Finney, standing by the dinner hall entrance. Tyson's hands relaxed, and he leaned close to Nancy as he said, "I'll be watching you." Tyson stalked away, and Nancy went to collect her dinner. "Thanks for sticking up for me," she said, as she came back to the table and sat down on the opposite bench. "No problemo," Pete replied. He brushed a strand of blonde hair away from his forehead, then shoveled half a roast potato into his mouth. Krish was checking his phone, muttering that his mum would kill him if it was broken. "Do you guys want to hear something really weird?" Nancy said. "Like what?" Krish asked, and glanced up at her. Nancy sighed and put her hand to her mouth as if she didn't want to say it. "It's my mum and dad," she began. "I mean, there's something strange about them." "Strange?" Krish pushed his glasses up his nose, making his dark brown eyes look enormous. This was his serious mode. "Yeah, they've changed," Nancy went on. "It's like they're not really my parents." "In what way?" Krish asked, looking interested. "Well, you know when someone's mouth smiles, but their eyes don't? They're like that, no emotion." Nancy stared at the lunch congealing on her plate. "This probably sounds stupid, but when I told Mum I got an A in my maths test yesterday, she hardly said a word. Normally she makes a big fuss." "Is that it?" Krish asked. He sounded unimpressed, and Pete knew why. Krish got a B in that test, and he hated being the second smartest kid in their class. His mum and dad expected him to be
Sample complete. Ready to continue?